Raw, January 26, 2026. Might be AJ's last Raw, to be honest. And the way it ended was quite questionable. But the show started off with him. Also, something ridiculous. I'll make another video about the 2K cover. But AJ came out as the show started off, and you can just tell that his retirement might be at Royal Rumble. I mean, Shinsuke's post that he posted on Instagram that he might have gotten in trouble for, it showed that AJ might be leaving soon because of what he said AJ said. But AJ, he comes out, he talks about Gunther possibly shortening his career by ending it. Hopefully not by a tap out. Hopefully. Bro, I'm telling you, man, if that happens. Anyways, AJ gets interrupted by people call him Uncle Phil, but CM Punk comes out, and I got really happy because that was one of my rivalries in 2K19's universe mode. AJ Styles versus CM Punk, and AJ played the heel. CM Punk was 2K19 was still one of the greatest games. It was a very ugly game because of how poorly contrasted and colorless it was, but it was a great game. Then after that, we get CM Punk saying that he's a fighting champion and that he's gonna put his championship on the line against AJ. So AJ accepts, and then we get that match set for the main event. So then after that, we get Rio and Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley versus the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day are booked really amazing, but the opposite. So they lose just like they did on Saturday. Nothing else happens after that except for I think it was Michael Cole who said that Raquel is. I'm pretty sure she's feeding into the Kevin Nash comparison, so she's calling herself Big Sexy, which I 100% agree. Um, yeah. So, so then we cut to backstage to get CM Punk walking, minding his own business, probably going to, make sure his ice cream bars, his WWE ice cream bars are still frozen so he can get one. And then Fergal, Prince, kind of says, "Hey, you raised my hand in victory. I really appreciate it. Let's go grab a bite to eat later. I heard Waffle House will be open around the corner." And then CM Punk says, "Yeah, well, you're one of the best, so I wanted to just honor you as one of the best. But you won't be a champion, a world champion at least, until you leave the Judgment Day." I call them the Jobber Day, but the Judgment Day. And so he says, "You know what? Yeah, I agree." And then, he just kind of walks away after thanking CM Punk. And then man, like, the Judgment Day it should be over by now. I'm not gonna lie. It should have been over a year ago when everyone turned into jobbers who kind of makes the crowd's investment and excitement go down. But then after that, we get Adam Pearce talking to a higher up. So since it's not Vince, I wonder who it could be because it's definitely not Vince. But then we get it's probably not Triple H either because Triple H can't take bumps anymore. So which is why he puts himself on the cover of a game and a WrestleMania poster and the Raw on Netflix advertisement and the voiceovers and as the star is unreal and it just anyways um Adam Pearce he gets called down to the ring by Paul Heyman. He keeps pointing out the fact that Adam Pearce put his hands on Braun and planted the brass knuckles for Logan to think it was Logan who took the pin for Ray. But then we get Adam Pearce being called down to the ring. But since this isn't when wrestling is cool, when wrestlers actually had their theme songs, not wrestlers, the GMs used to have theme songs like Teddy Long. We even had Eric Bischoff had his own theme song back in the Ruthless Aggression era. the general managers are just kind of there. The general managers are just, I make match, I yell at you, and then I do nothing really, so I can be easily replaced. The general managers are pretty, they're just wasted space uh, in this day and age. General managers don't have anything that really set them apart from one another. No theme song, no real arc, no. I mean, Adam Pierce does have a real arc currently. Nick Aldis is kind of just there, but at least Adam Pierce now has a story, with the vision. Um, so then we get a something that I've been really. Oh, by the way, Adam Pierce put all the vision in the Royal Rumble, even though that the Royal Rumble was so much better. People just come out, not. Also, Obafemi got revealed for the Royal Rumble. Why didn't they just play his music at the Royal Rumble and then we all get excited because we didn't know he was going to be there? I don't know, but WWE love, like, when it comes to Royal Rumble, they are dedicated and they are focused. I appreciate the dedication though. Like, it takes a lot of effort to ruin the fun, but to sit there and have people for years say, "I'm going to be a Royal Rumble. I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble." Why not just let it happen? Why you got to say it though? I never liked that. That is so irritating. Just let it happen. So we get Oba being advertised the Royal Rumble this year instead of just him being a surprise. That's annoying. But then we get a promo being cut by Natty. Now I said this yesterday. I wanted Natty to be a part of what Maxine has going on because Natty on the Indies was great. I think that character was done correctly more than Natty has been in a decade on the main roster. So hopefully they don't have Maxine kind of turn into this super Max, you know, beating Natty over and over and over and over again, and then she misses the head kick on Natty, and Natty's forced to go down and count to three and lose. I mean, I don't really have any faith in how the main roster does the women because you look at how, you know, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, that's definitely something I would love to see is Natty have a good run on the main roster. I mean, why didn't they just have Maxine hold on to the title and then have Natty go after it? That would have been a bit cooler. But then we get Division versus Penta versus Dragon Lee. Or no, it wasn't Dragon Lee, it was Penta. When it comes to these multi-man matches, I really don't really pay attention as much because it's just a lot of moving pieces. People, I mean, it's kind of like the reason why I don't like when I watch AEW, I just see a bunch of tag matches that don't mean anything. One person loses, the other one loses the next week, or probably we have a scramble, or probably we'll have this person, and then their manager. But then the manager is in the match, and the person who was in the match previously is the manager now. So they think that's variety, but just having the same match within a different pattern. But yeah, Rey Mysterio loses by a curb stomp by Austin Theory. Now, I truly believe that it would be very fun to have Austin Theory working for Seth Rollins. So, kind of being the inside person, like the mole in the vision, being sent there to do Seth's dirty work while Seth is out. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. That'd be a creative thing for sure to have that happen. But then we have the referees throw up the X for Rey Mysterio. So, that's not really a good thing. Hopefully Ray's okay, but since I saw that X, I don't think so. And then we get I tapped out Jay Uso at WrestleMania 41, but WWE's trying to make you forget about it. Gunther, and he's having a promo with a backstage interview with Michael Cole, and then he's talking about, well, you're an old timer, I can easily kick that chair from under you and end your career. And Michael Cole, he takes a deep breath like he's gonna do something, but he's not going to. He's probably gonna get covered in barbecue sauce again. But then we have Gunther having this same tired thing of, I'm a ring general and I'm a career ender. Yeah. So he's pretty much like a Timu Randy. Now the reason I say Timu Randy is simply because of the fact that he tapped out, and the WWE wants you to not remember that. He tapped out at WrestleMania and lost the title to a failed superstar, single star experiment in the form of Jey Uso. His run was so terrible that they, put him back in the tag team because they just got tired of it. All the dislikes, all the ratios, all the bad performances from Jey Uso. So it's pretty much like it didn't happen. That's what WWE wants the fans to think. Gunther never tapped out. He tapped out John Cena. And he's going to do the same thing to AJ Styles. Nothing happened at WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania 41 doesn't even exist. That's what WWE wants you to think. Dude was over here on the floor tapping out in like 8 seconds to his own move. And then fans are going to say, well, that's a footnote. To be fair, Gunther, it's not a big deal that he tapped out. It's just a footnote, right? It's just something that will be forgotten. That doesn't define Gunther. But whenever he tries to speak, the crowd says, you tapped out. You tapped out. Yeah, totally forgotten. Totally. And then we get a backstage segment with Prince Devitt, Fergal, Finn Balor, asking Adam Pearce for a Royal Rumble spot, but then Adam Pearce says that it's full and all he can do is apologize. So he gets upset and he walks, in through the little corridor, and then he meets Liv Morgan, and then or Margot or Oprah, as she wanted to go by, or local talent. And then she says that, well, CM Punk, he looked at you as a charity case when he raised your hand in victory. He just trying to manipulate you because he doesn't want you to have his world championship. And then Finn Balor's like, okay. Then he doesn't say anything, and then he just like, kind of just walks off. And then you can just see that the cracks are forming, and Finn might turn face and might have this overdue thing that he should have had when he got back in 2017 because he teamed with Seth, and it was, I think, April 3rd, 2017. It was somebody else versus Samoa Joe. Somebody with Samoa Joe taking on Seth and Finn when Finn came back from the shoulder injury in 2017 that he sustained in 2016. He should have got but no. You want to just string people along and then wonder why they don't really care as much. I mean, people care about Finn Balor, but I guarantee if they don't do it right, they're going to turn on him. And honestly, when fans turn on a certain talent, people think the fans are fickle. If you tease something for so long and then you deliver it, but it's not in good quality, what the hell you think people are going to do? What do you think? How do you think they're going to feel? How are you going to expect somebody to praise your every move just because you strung them along to something, and then they're called fickle, and the fans they're never satisfied? Yes, they are, because they pay money to watch the show. People are never satisfied just because they don't like what you do. I can't stand when people or creators do that. It's stupid and it's immature. It's such sissy nonsense. But anyway, same thing with that Moose did when he talked about, with all due respect, you can't have an opinion. And talking about unless you perform at a high level. This dude has never been signed by a major company before. So I don't think Moose has any room to talk either. Anyways, I get the creeds. I've been asking to get the creeds. I made a whole reel yesterday talking about I want the creeds, and then they lost on their first night back, so there's nothing really to talk about. And then we get Raquel. She has a promo, a really good promo, talking about that she's big sexy Raquel Rodriguez. And then since it was on commercial instead of just these promos, I don't like that these commercials take this. I don't get why. Like, these matches are super long anyways. I think WWE matches nowadays are longer than they need to be. But why not just have the matches cut down so you can have time for because honestly, the people at home aren't seeing it half the time. And promos, besides cool moves and bangers, promos are a really good way for the wrestlers to get not superstars, but wrestlers to get over with the audience and get to know them better. But nah, let's just put it during an ad break. I remember it was LA Knight and he was having a promo, and then all of a sudden it goes to commercial. Now, I still think that it's spite because, he's not one of the boss's favorites. But anyways, r- great promo from Raquel nonetheless. And then we go to the main event. I'm not sure when her promo was on the show, so I'll just add it before the main event. But then we get AJ versus CM Punk. CM Punk and AJ, pretty good. No complaints here. I think, honestly, I just wanted to see it because it was my 2K19 manifestation match. It was a really big dream match. I wanted to see that in WWE since 2019. So to get to see it was pretty cool. But then, of course, we don't get a decisive winner. Instead, we get Finn Balor shotgun drop kicking CM Punk in the chest, and then having AJ fall out of the fireman's carry over the top rope out of the ring. But the thing is, if that's if we were watching AJ Styles' farewell tour all this time and not really knowing it because of how, I mean, honestly, that would really suck. I mean, AJ Styles' last match on Raw ending in a DQ, that would be as bad as John tapping out, even after 20 plus years of him saying to never give up. That'd be bad. That'd be downright disrespectful and dirty to have his last match end on a DQ on TV. That'd be really bad. But we get CM Punk getting hit with the coup de grace a few times, and then the credits that shouldn't even be there, but credits on the screen. Uh, every time I see those credits, it's an immersion breaker. We just see Paul Levesque. I mean, like, come on. We know you're doing the show because we see Unreal, we see the rest of the stuff. So we don't need the credits because sometimes the credits will be during something cool happening or some combat, or somebody's doing their finisher. Like last night when we see coup de grace, Paul Levesque. Like, we know whose show it is. We know who's running the game. Anyways, uh, yeah, and then the show just goes off air with Finn doing that like he's Braun Strowman, and then CM Punk looking all hurt, and then that's the end of the show. And the entire night, I was just saying, well, the entire time during this sequence, I was just saying, this can't be AJ's last Raw. A DQ, a disqualification. Dude, if that is, that'd be so wrong of them to do that to him. But it wouldn't be the first time someone who's of legendary status went out like that. Because we saw John tap out to a man that tapped out. And then they're trying to push the. I mean, apparently Gunther was supposed to lose to Pat McAfee. But, anyways, if that's AJ's last Raw, do you think it should have ended the way it did, or do you think it should have ended another way? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And that's about it, really.